The midday sun baked the U.S. Army training ground as white recruits lined up behind sandbags, laughing and yelling over each other. The sound of gunfire echoed across the range, but no one was aiming for accuracy. It was just another casual, fun day shoot. Amira stood alone near the supply crates. Her janitor uniform still smelled faintly of bleach, and her latex gloves were stained from cleaning the medic bay earlier. She wasn't supposed to be here, at least not holding a weapon. "Hey, someone give the cleaning lady a turn," one white recruit shouted. Another laughed. "Band-Aid Queen's about to show us how to clean a barrel, inside out." Amira didn't flinch. She just looked toward the table where a matte black sniper rifle rested. M24, polished, scoped, untouched. A white sergeant, older, mean-eyed, grinned as he picked it up and walked toward her. "Want to polish it first before you miss?" he sneered, holding it out like a joke. The group burst into laughter. A few pulled out phones, expecting a disaster. Amira didn't speak. She took the rifle slowly, hands steady. No smile, no reaction. Just a quiet grip, like she'd held it long before this day. "Careful," someone muttered. "Don't let her shoot herself." Still no response. She walked toward the firing line. The laughter behind her grew louder. She didn't look back. Before the gun range, before the mocking, Amira existed like background noise in the facility. She cleaned halls before most woke up, mopped blood trails no one asked about, restocked gauze, refilled sanitizer, cleaned toilets, and disappeared into corners. They called her Ghost Girl, out of fear, but because she was invisible. Recruits walked past her without eye contact. Some stepped over her mop. A few joked about her being part of the decor. No one asked her name. No one cared. She wore a plain ID badge. It read, Amira L., Support Staff. Most didn't even know the L stood for Lennox. In the armory, she cleaned rifles with more care than the soldiers who fired them. Her movements were slow, deliberate, like memory lived in her fingertips. "Why does the janitor polish the weapons better than the techs?" one white trainee whispered. "She's probably just bored," another replied. What no one noticed was the old military watch wrapped tight around her wrist, scuffed, faded, still ticking. She touched it sometimes when no one was looking. Not like it was jewelry, like it was sacred. The day the range accident happened, the air was dry and sharp. A new white recruit, nervous, trying too hard to impress, squared up with a rifle meant for someone far more experienced. He didn't tighten the strap. He didn't check the recoil settings. The shot snapped. The rifle kicked back like a sledgehammer. The butt slammed into his shoulder, slicing it open. Blood spurted instantly. Dark, fast, arterial. Everything stopped. Nobody moved. The instructors froze. The recruits backed up, eyes wide, unsure whether to scream or call for help. But Amira was already moving. She dropped the mop handle mid-swipe and sprinted across the field. No hesitation. No orders. Just instinct. In seconds, she was beside the recruit, her hands already pressing down on the right point above the artery, stopping the bleeding before panic could do more damage. "Don't move," she whispered. "Your pressure's dropping." She opened a field kit, one she always kept tucked in her utility belt, though no one ever noticed. Cotton, clamp, wrap. Everything done in seconds. Someone finally shouted, "Get the medic!" "I'm handling it," she replied calmly. The white recruit blinked up at her, stunned. The bleeding slowed. Her hands didn't shake. She didn't even breathe heavy. The white sergeant who'd mocked her earlier stood silently near the ammo crates, arms folded, eyes narrowing. Looks like Nurse Genius saved your arm, he muttered, loud enough for others to hear. A few laughed nervously. Amira didn't answer. She just packed the bloodied wraps into a sealed bag and walked back toward the medical bay. Still invisible. Still unthanked. But someone had seen it. One of the recruits near the back, the quiet kid, watched her leave and whispered, "That wasn't first aid. That was combat trauma training." And for the first time, someone didn't laugh. That night, long after lights out, Amira sat alone in the medical bay, headphones in, hands methodically cleaning a scope lens with a cloth most wouldn't think twice about. The room was dim, lit only by the yellow desk lamp that buzzed quietly over the tray of tools and surgical scissors. She reached into her locker and pulled out a small wooden photo frame. It was worn at the edges, like it had been gripped through too many memories. In the photo stood a tall black man in full military gear, dark tactical vest, sniper rifle slung low, jaw clenched, eyes calm but cold. His name was carved softly into the wood beneath the photo. Whisper. Her father. No one at the camp knew. He wasn't just a sniper, he was ghost class, the kind of soldier whose existence was denied on record, but whispered about in high-level intelligence circles. A man trained to end wars with a single shot. The kind of man whose breath could silence rooms. And he trained her every morning since she was 7. No cartoons, no birthday parties, just range practice, wind measurements, and drills before school. Stillness is more dangerous than noise, he used to tell her. Anyone can fire a bullet, but few know how to breathe before the moment. She remembered tracing bullet drop curves in sand with a stick while other kids rode bikes. Remembered disassembling an M4 blindfolded by age 9. She didn't grow up with bedtime stories. She grew up calculating scope reflection angles under moonlight. And when he died, 3 years ago, classified mission, 0 details, she folded everything away. Put it all behind her. No more rifles, no more breath holds, just cleaning floors. But she never took off the watch he gave her, still ticking, still hers. He told her once, "The moment will come, and when it does, you'll know what to do. No spotlight, no glory, just one perfect breath." She looked at the rifle cleaning tools on the table and silently nodded to herself. The next morning, the training base announced a friendly morale competition, a live-fire sniper challenge. Mandatory for all, even support staff. It was framed as a joke, a team-building stunt. Most laughed. A few placed bets. The white sergeant who loved mocking Amira was practically glowing with excitement. He made sure the rifle handed to her wasn't just any standard M24. It was the same one she had cleaned 2 nights ago, polished until it reflected light like glass. He walked up to her in front of everyone, grinning ear to ear. "Let's see if the mop queen can pull a trigger," he chuckled, loudly enough for the recruits to turn and stare. The others joined in, some already laughing, a few pulling out their phones. Amira didn't react. She didn't protest, didn't smile, didn't flinch. She stepped forward, slowly, took the rifle with both hands, and moved toward the firing line. A few snickered. "She won't even hit the board," someone said. $10 says she drops it, another muttered. Amira didn't speak. She adjusted the strap, checked the bolt, tucked the buttstock against her shoulder. And then she paused. Her spine straightened. Her elbows dropped into perfect alignment. Her feet shifted exactly shoulder-width apart, and her breath slowed, like she had disappeared from the room and entered another place entirely. The crowd stopped, murmuring. Even the sergeant tilted his head. Amira looked through the scope. No twitch, no blink. She wasn't just aiming, she was calculating. Wind drift, distance, drop rate, all flowing through her brain like muscle memory. Then, crack. The shot rang out sharp and crisp, cutting through the air like a razor. A long silence followed. Then someone near the spotting scope gasped. "Bullseye," he said. "No," another replied, eyes wide. "Dead center." The round had drilled the mathematical center of the target. Perfect shot. A veteran instructor stepped forward, pale. "That form, that breath hold," he whispered. "That's Whisper's technique." And just like that, no one laughed. 3 days later, the alarms blared across the base. A loudspeaker crackled to life. "Simulation alert. Red level tactical drill in effect. All personnel evacuate to designated bunkers immediately." It was supposed to be a high-level test, a military simulation meant to mimic real-time enemy infiltration. Paint rounds, tracking sensors, full gear. But everyone knew, if something went wrong, people could get hurt. As recruits scrambled underground, Amira moved with the crowd, unnoticed, just another uniform blending into the panic. That's when she overheard it. A whisper from a panicked white recruit. "Wait! Where's Bravo team? The rookies? They were in the East Barracks. Cut off!" The simulation enemy, fully armed sniper units, was heading straight toward that area. No time to extract, no time to warn, and no one was doing anything. Command said, "Wait for the tactical rescue team." ETA, 20 minutes. But Amira knew the layout better than anyone. She had cleaned every stairwell, mopped every window, memorized every rooftop. The recruits had 10 minutes, maybe less. She didn't ask permission. She didn't speak. She slipped out the side exit of the bunker and vanished. At the armory, the rifle from the challenge was still logged under her name. She took it. No questions. She climbed the abandoned administration building, the only spot with a clear vantage point over the eastern approach. Wind, 15 miles per hour, northwest. Distance, 812 meters. Elevation, slight incline, 2.4 degrees. Target, 3 simulation snipers in motion. She set up. Knees down, elbows in, breath locked. Scope aligned. She could see them now. Enemy gear, full tactical movement, closing in on the building where the rookies hid. She had one shot. If she missed, they'd breach the room, and even paint rounds could cause real injuries at close range. Her finger rested on the trigger. Her father's voice echoed in her memory. "There is no second place when lives are at stake." She exhaled, held, crack. Lit up red. Dead center sensor hit. Simulation terminated. Sirens changed tone. Exercise concluded. Threat neutralized. All units safe. Reach the roof.